The opening seconds gave us a clue to the ugliness that was to come. A smile and a greeting just about. But for the first time ever in a presidential debate, not even a suggestion of a handshake. Donald Trump immediately was asked about his boasting of sexual advances, even assaults, which threatens to destroy his candidacy.
And yes, I'm very embarrassed by it. I hate it, but it's locker room talk, and it's one of those things.
He has said that the video doesn't represent who he is, but I think it's clear to anyone who heard it that it represents exactly who he is.
But then Trump took this campaign and this debate into uncharted territory. With a number of women sitting in the audience, guests of Trump, who accused Bill Clinton of sexual assault, the Republican launched his scorched earth policy.
There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women. What President Clinton did, he was impeached, he lost his license to practice law, he had to pay an $850,000 fine to one of the women, Paula Jones, who's also here tonight.
At times, Mrs. Clinton looked taken aback at Trump's aggressive and high-risk attacks. But it may have played well with his core of angry supporters.
You delete 33,000 emails, and then you acid wash them, or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. So we're going to get a special prosecutor, and we're going to look into it. It's a disgrace, and honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
And if you think that only in dictatorships and failing states that there is talk of throwing your opponent in prison, well, listen to this.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Mrs. Clinton accused Russia of hacking into politically sensitive websites, suggesting Trump would be the beneficiary.
We have never in the history of our country been in a situation where an adversary, a foreign power, is working so hard to influence the outcome of the election. And believe me, they're not doing it to get me elected. They're doing it to try to influence the election for Donald Trump.
But after 90 minutes of brutal attack and counterattack, a final surprise, praise for each other.
Would either of you name one positive thing that you respect in one another?
I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald.
I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. I respect that.
Afterwards, in the spin room next door, both sides recognized this debate had taken presidential politics into a depressing place.
We've never been this low before. It's unnecessary, it's unkind, and it is a supreme diversion. Well, you're asking about it because it's a diversion.
Does it in any way sadden you that American politics is now at this level?
Of course, it should sadden anybody that we're at this level. But it doesn't mean that we can't get better again.
The candidates did manage a brief handshake at the end, Trump remaining severely damaged by that leaked tape. But it appears he has survived to fight on for the final 30 days.